That's amazing. You're able to find these things in such fantastic condition. It is the most impressive and the biggest private Mariah collection that I'm certainly aware of. Hey kids, Treacle here and welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited to be chatting with Steve of the Utah Mariah Carey Museum. Welcome to my channel, Steve. It is a pleasure to meet you. Everyone knows of you and the incredible work you are doing with your museum. But in case there are any lambs on my channel that haven't come across your museum yet, just tell us a little bit about you and the museum.
Of course. Well, the Utah Mariah Carey Museum goes back to 1990 when I first heard, Mariah's Vision of Love, and instantly wanted to know who it was and learn more, and bought the singles and the album, and the collecting began pretty much right away. I'm a collector by nature. I collect other things too, but the Mariah Museum is my main focus.
How much time do you say it's your main focus. How much time does it take? Because you have so many different items. So is it a case of like sourcing items and then caring for them and categorizing them? How much time does it take up? Because it is a huge collection.
Absolutely. The collection has over 10,000 pieces. I think I'm probably getting closer to 12,000 at this point. Haven't done a count in a while. Obviously, that's a big job. But the museum takes up a lot of my time. I work on it every week. New items arrive in the museum weekly, and I spend a lot of time photographing the items, preparing for a website that will come eventually. And the work comes in just not just photographing, but the editing and the descriptions that I add. Anyone that follows me will notice the photos I post have a full description on them that explain exactly what the item is, where it came from, etc.
So is your hope for the website that you're building, is that going to be effectively an online catalog of everything?
Yes, yes, it'll be basically a virtual experience, so that lambs can come and see all the different items in categories listed by release date, and be able to view the museum, since it really isn't open to the public. It's a private collection, but its goal is to have a virtual presence with the website. Mariah is a big supporter of the museum. We actually met to discuss the museum after one of her shows. I had the opportunity to talk with her for quite a while about the museum, and she knew all about it, and is a big fan of it. That the hope is that someday, since my wife and I don't have kids, that we'll donate the museum's entire collection to Mariah, and a museum that she talks of opening someday.
That would be awesome. I think it's so incredibly generous that you share everything because, as you say, it's not something that's open to the public. This is a private collection, and it is the most impressive and the biggest private Mariah collection that I'm certainly aware of. And I think it is really awesome and generous that you put it out there, and now you're putting all this work into a website. I can only imagine how many photographs you're taking and how many item descriptions you're having to write for that, and then ultimately to possibly pass it on. You're really giving yourself a huge task, but I can imagine it must be quite satisfying or quite rewarding in its own way.
It is. It's a big job, but I love doing it. It really is a passion of mine. The goal of the museum is to not only share it with lambs today, but one of the main goals of the museum is to preserve these items for the future so that they can be seen for many generations to come. And that's why I think it's important that someday when I'm gone, that they end up in a Mariah Carey museum, and that maybe her children or whoever ends up the caretaker of it after me, the goal is to preserve it for the future.
Yeah, 11, 12,000 items, however many you're up to now. That's a lot of upkeep and a lot of care. I imagine you've got some things that if you were to get to that stage, you passed it on to Mariah, you must have loads of things that she doesn't have, that she hasn't even seen before, or maybe not seen for a long, long time. I imagine that would be really interesting and exciting for her.
Yeah, that was interesting. That she did mention that there's a lot of things here that she wouldn't have and that maybe has never seen before. So these are items that maybe she wouldn't have collected for a museum, and it would be perfect for that setting in the future. She has all the gowns and sets and all the stuff on her end, but the merchandise is another story. And really, the museum's collection is merchandise and also memorabilia.
You can just imagine that fusion of, her gowns, her dresses, all the things that she has had access to and things she's been presented with across the years, and then everything that you're bringing to the party. Put that together, and that would be a very, very immersive Mariah experience for Lambs. If some kind of combined museum moment were to happen in the future, that's ultimately possibly where you see things headed.
Yes, absolutely. What you see behind me is just a small part of the museum. There's more of it in places that I can close up in other parts of my home. And the object of that is to be able to close it off from light, to be able to keep it dust free, to keep it in a cool, dry place. And that's why it's not out like all over a room or something like that. The best place for it is somewhere packed away tightly, and it's not as easily seen, but it's well protected.
Yeah, and I guess that's why you need to be developing this inventory so you know everything, because you can't physically see everything all the time. Do you have like boxes and rooms and things where you just don't get in to see them very often? Have you got things kind of tucked away that you sometimes forget about?
Well, the paper items are probably the would fit into that category. There are other display areas like you see behind me, in large cabinets that are able to close up, like filing, large filing cabinets, and able to hold a lot of merchandise that I can also see at the same time. So there's three main areas that you can see the merchandise in somewhat of a display form, and I'm planning to add another large cabinet this summer to grow. There's just I have so much stuff piling up right now. I don't have room to fit it all. So the expansion is necessary.
I can only imagine we're yeah 30, 31 years into this career, and there's no signs of it slowing down, so you're only going to expand. You're only going to need more cupboard space, more shelves.
Exactly.
You mentioned paper items. I'm guessing a large portion of that is going to be things that we don't have these days, like fan club newsletters and things like that, maybe.
Yes, I do have an entire collection of the fan club newsletters from going back to the Fan Emporium days through the Honeybee Fly newsletters, which were short lived, but I do have a full collection of them and all the mailers and photos and everything that came with them. And those will all be photographed and be available on the website eventually as well. Photographing the item, sometimes it's a simple item like a CD, and a CD single may have three photos, but a CD that has all kinds of booklets and all in it, there could be up to 40 photos of a certain item. So the amount of photos is going to be really staggering on the website. Right now, I'm over 6,000 prepared photos, but I plan to have over 50,000 easily by the time what I have right now is photographed, and that doesn't include, like I said, things come in weekly. I'm also blessed to have the fans donate to the museum. A lot of fans donate items, and once items are donated, their items are photographed, and their names are added to the photos as donor. So their names will always be attached to those items as donor. I'm very blessed with donations.
That's amazing. That's something I wanted to ask you about, because you've been collecting since Mariah's debut, and things have changed so many times just with how we consume music and how the media works now. So collecting surely has changed along the way as well. What's your kind of experience been? If you think back to being a collector, back in 1990 and where it is now, have there been any like big changes or significant things that really affected how you collect or what you collect?
Yeah, it has changed considerably, especially since the record store days when you could go to a record store and, talk them into giving you a display or promotional material. And, there's tons of that in the museum too, like the rainbow stand you see here. It's part of a full CD display. This is only the top of it, but I have a number of the large in-store displays like that and a lot of the counter displays. So today things are a little different because we don't have the record stores. Merchandise is purchased not only new through her store, but also I'm consistently searching the web for new items, new to the museum, but older items that the museum doesn't have. And I'm always shocked by how much stuff is out there. As much as I have, there's just tons still out there.
So you're finding even with your 12,000 items, you're still constantly surprised by new things you see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, CDs alone, you can see there's probably 800 CDs here that, they're all
Wow.
different. And there's thousands and thousands of CDs out there, promos and singles and CDs from other countries. And then there's cassettes and 45s, 7-inch singles. I call them 45s when I was young. Now they're 12, they're 7-inch singles. And, of course, the 12-inch finals are very popular again. And that's kind of fun. I'm sad to see CDs go away, though.
Yeah, CDs slipping away. That feels like my childhood slipping away. That was, well, actually, I had it first with cassettes. I was a big fan of music from childhood, and Daydream was my first Mariah album, and it was on cassette, and it was worn out. And I had a few others, but then I quickly got into CDs. That's my time, and now CDs aren't around, and it does make me feel a bit sad because I'd be really excited to get the different editions of each of Mariah's albums, and then I had a good number of promotional CDs and things like that, and that was really fun. And then when that started to die out, it was a bit sad in a way. So I've been excited to see vinyl come back. Have you been collecting many or all of the new vinyl?
Yeah, everything that's released through her store, I buy one up for the museum, well, at least one, sometimes two, if there's something I want to keep sealed. The object is really to share all these things with the fans and be able to open them up to photograph, every bit of say a 12-inch vinyl, to open the gatefold, to show all the liner notes, but that's all important to me. So I don't keep everything sealed, just for that purpose, so that really the items can be seen. I mean, that's sharing what the museum has is really important. So, I make that sacrifice for the lambs.
And we appreciate. I mean, your photos you put online are already gorgeous. I can only imagine how amazing the website is going to be. Because I sometimes chat with other lambs, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this promotional item. Or do you remember that promotional CD? Do you remember that one with a slightly different cover? And you're going to be the place we can go to look it up.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people ask me if I've seen this or that, or do I have this, and can you show me a picture of that? And it's fun. I'm always happy to help the lambs with their collections. That's another thing that the museum does. I'm always happy to help them authenticate something, whether it be an item that they want to purchase that they're not sure if it's an authentic item or something that was fan made or an autograph. Or I also do authentication for the lambs.
That's brilliant because you do see a lot of items popping up online. I occasionally go online onto eBay and have a little look, see what's going on. You do see things, and I've got a few years under my lamb belt, and I can spot things that are not genuine. But there are a lot of things out there that I can't call either way. But yeah, I imagine you're the go-to lamb to authenticate what is genuine and what's not. That's again another pull on your time and your knowledge, and again incredibly generous of you to do that. You mentioned that you get donations to the museum, and also you're looking online. Do you have some kind of like routine? Are there go-to places? Is it mostly, you on eBay every day or once a week, or do you keep an eye on other online websites and marketplaces? Just wondering what your kind of go-to resources are.
Yeah, of course, eBay is always a good source, and I do check it, many times a week. I have a lot of people looking out for me. I've made a lot of connections over the years with the museum, and there's lambs all over the world that look out for items for me. Some of them are purchased from other lambs collections that maybe they don't want to keep anymore. There's so many different ways to get items. It's a lot of searching. It's a lot of looking and following leads, and that doing things that way.
Yeah, always being on the hunt, always seeing what's popping up as new. Do you have any stand out, like really rare items, or some favorite items that you might be able to chat about or show us perhaps?
Absolutely. I have some that I've that I put out here to share with everyone. Let's see, what should we start with? Well, from the this was a photo of Mariah and I from the Charm Bracelet tour. This is the first time I really had a chance to meet her and have some time with her. I donated to Save the Music. I had 10 minutes alone with her backstage after the Charm Bracelet show, and that was a fun time. I bring up Charm Bracelet because I actually have her shoes from the Charm Bracelet tour. These are Sergio Rossi designer shoes that she wore on the Charm Bracelet tour in the USA and Japan. You can see they've been used quite a bit.
They
Um,
have.
they've also been scuffed on the bottom to keep her from sliding around on the stage. So they're beautiful. Well, here's a picture of them from the Charm Bracelet tour with her wearing the shoes. And then she also wore them on the Ant and Deck show that was in March of.
Ah, okay. So yeah, she wore them over here. Yep, yeah, for that performance. Ah, okay.
Let's go back to the beginning. This is an invitation to her cocktail reception for her first album. The party was to be before her album came out. This is a really rare item. There weren't many of these that were given out, and even at that point, nobody knew who she was. So, there weren't probably many of them saved. This one's in beautiful condition. And this looks very much like it, which is interesting. This is the invitation, and this is a promo that came out prior to Love Takes Time. And it's a little cassette box. It's got an interesting story that she wrote about how she got to where she was, which was only 1990 at that point. So that's interesting as well.
I've never seen either of those items before, so they're very, very unique.
These are something I just found recently. These are a little pack of sweets from a promo from the Sweetheart record that she did with JD. And
Wow.
you can see the So Def, and then JD and Mariah. And then it just has a little story on the back that tells you a little bit about the album itself. But this was a really cool find. I've never seen another one. And this was an expensive purchase, believe it or not. For this little tiny pack of sweets, I paid $70.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I believe it was rare enough that it merited that price, and it's a great little item.
Oh yeah, that's fun. That's different, and yeah, I've never heard of that. Never seen that either.
These are lobby cards from the movie. These were used in theaters to promote the film.
I used to have that set. I used to have them. Yeah, I don't anymore. I was 17 and I took things for, yeah, this whole set. I recognize all of these. I had every single one. I think I took them for granted. I think I had two sets. If I'm not mistaken, I gave a set away, or I broke a set up and gave them to different people. I forgot that I had these until you're showing them to me.
That's a full set of the 8 lobby cards that were released. And then These these are actual trailers for the movie glitter. They were
Oh,
u-
wow.
they would have been used in the movie theaters. These are in two formats, scope and flat, and that's just different aspects that the different theaters would use. So some would use one or the other, but this is a full trailer for the movie Glitter. This is a fun little item. It's a glitter purse, fur bag with a glittery plastic handle on it.
That is an item that I've heard about and seen one photo of before. So that's super fun to actually see it properly now, like this. I don't think I really had a sense of the size of it before.
Yeah, it's a fun little item. I've got a lot of glitter promotional items. I think I probably have most every glitter promo item that there was. There's a few that I'm still searching for, and one that I've got a line on that I'm hoping to get soon. But I've got all the press releases and just bracelets and fans and just all kinds of things that related to the movie. I was lucky enough to be able to find a lot of those over time. This is a set list that was used in the dressing room at the Hawaii show for the Sweet Sweet Fantasy Tour, and so it was actually used in the dressing rooms. And there's a ticket to the show there. But what's also unique about this set of items that I have is that there's this bag, and the bag and the other item I'm going to show you were made by the promoter of the show, uh, Rick Bartelli, I believe his name was. And these were only made for Mariah, her family, and the band members.
Wow,
So really, really rare items.
definitely.
The other part of that came with those is these sandals.
Amazing.
Am I holding that up? There you go.
Oh, wow. How unique.
So those are fun. And then of course the all access pass that was
Oh,
used
brilliant.
with with the shells on it, and the nice little collection of items from the Sweet Sweet Fantasy Tour. This is a promo from the Star. The She wrote the song for it, of course. I think everybody knows that. This was a gift box that was made exclusively for the Hollywood Foreign Press members. So each of them got one of these, and I believe there were less than 90 members. So there were not more than that made. And I've seen these broken up before on eBay. So there's not a lot of complete sets left around. And inside is the Star CD. And then this is a lyric sheet for the song, and it's autographed by Mariah. Mariah was in attendance at the event too. Of course, it's sad to say that she didn't win for the song, but this is the CD. And the fun thing about it is when you open it up, it plays the song.
That's fun.
So that's kind of a fun little item.
That's amazing. You're able to find these things in such fantastic condition. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I really don't like to collect things that aren't in that kind of condition. I might make an exception for a really rare item, but I try to get everything in its best condition. And I would recommend to any collector that always buy the best condition of an item you can. Spend the extra money on a vinyl to get the one that's in mint condition. Don't buy one that later on you're going to regret the condition and decide you want to buy a better one later. It's always better to buy the best right off the bat. This last item I'm going to show is really special to me. This is the gift box that Mariah sent out to her close friends and some celebrities for the release of her book. And she sent it to me personally. Um, it came from her Hollywood address, and it's got a little card in there that she hand wrote Utah Museum on.
That is
And
such a highlight. That is amazing, Steve.
just a beautiful box, and to have her send it to me personally was just a real big honor. I really, I'm shocked the day I got it, and for it to come addressed from her. It was addressed from Ms. Carey, and it came from her Hollywood home address.
That's amazing. Of course, every we all saw people receiving those online. We saw celebrities and opening them, and we're looking, and it looked really pretty. Oh my God, there's a box of tissues. All of us would have loved to have had one. I can only imagine how excited you were to get one from her directly. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's nice to be on her radar. So, like I said, she is a big supporter of the museum, and it's really a great realization of a lot of years' work to have her really, confirm everything that I've done over the years. And after I got home from meeting her in Vegas, I even got a message from her that she was really excited to meet me and that she really appreciated the work that I was doing. It's really incredible that to have her support now.
Absolutely, yeah. Validation from her herself. I can only imagine that's like the ultimate pat on the back, really, for all the work you've been putting in, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
One thing I'm curious about, are there any dream items for you? Is there like that one elusive item that you're aware of and you're interested in, but it's always escaped you? Is there anything on that dream list?
Well, um, you know, nothing particular. I've got photos. If I come across something I don't have that I see a photo of, I'll snap a picture or a screenshot of it and then put it into a file as things that I'm looking for in the future. Just that way I know it exists and I know to look for it. It's really just a matter of what I come across. Most everything I come across, I try to purchase. Obviously the all these years of collecting in the what I consider the world's largest collection of merchandise and memorabilia hasn't been cheap. it's it's been a big expense, but again, it's just a labor of love, and I'm always searching for that new elusive item.
I imagine at concerts, are you first in line at the merchandise booth, taking one of everything?
Yeah, exactly. If it's a show, yeah, I'm there at the counter buying one of everything. And it was funny because after when I spoke with Mariah in November about the museum, and I told her I had just come from the gift shop and bought one of everything in the store, and she had a good laugh over that.
It's got to be done. You got to make sure don't miss out on anything when you go to a concert. She seems to be really good in the past few years with concerts in particular. There seems to be like a growing range of products, particularly with the Christmas concerts.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the Christmas show last November that I saw, that was actually the first Christmas show that I'd been to. And it was great. She does such a great job, and the Christmas shows are so festive, and it's something I would definitely like to do again. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I think the Christmas shows are a really good format for her because we all want to get in the mood with Mariah for Christmas. So it's no wonder she's done that for a few years now. And when she can, hopefully she'll pick that back up again because every lamb that I've been to, every lamb that I speak to, it's not a case of, yeah, I've seen her Christmas show, it's done. I had a great time and I would definitely want to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen her perform. Geez, I'm losing track of how many times now. I think it's around 18 times. Um, Starting back in the with the Charm Bracelet show. But I've been to a lot of her great shows. One of my favorites was the Pearl concert uh, appearance she did. It was just 4 shows at the Pearl Casino in Vegas, and there was only 2,000 people in the crowd at each show. I've seen her at the Oprah Winfrey show. I was at the taping that she did with Whitney Houston, and she
Wow.
came up into the audience during a break in the filming and grabbed onto my hand. And that was like one of the first times I had ever seen her in person. And she's holding on to my hand for like 10 minutes while we're all talking. And I'm just freaking out. She's holding my hand. I'm like, it was. quite a wild experience. And then I've been to some record store signings, and another favorite show was she did the Summer Bash in Chicago in 1998. That's actually the first time I saw her perform. And Mace was there, and Boys to Men were there. So she did her Honey song with Mace, and did the One Sweet Day with Boys to Men, and that was a great experience to be able to see her performing with those people.
Across your collection, Steve, is there like an even spread across all eras of her career, or do you find that there's one or two eras where there was just more merchandise, or you just happen to have more items from that era?
That's a good question. I really do have a lot of things covering each era. There are some, like, I think Daydream is probably one I would like to have more merchandise from. I just haven't been able to find as many of those items. I do have like a record store display from it, and and a bunch of other things too, but just less of Daydream than other albums for some reason. It's really been a pleasure speaking with you. I'll tell you one other quick story. When I went to the show last November, I was wearing this shirt, and I had fans coming up to me the whole time I was at the shows. I was, before the shows, I would come up the day before and kind of hang out in front of the venue in Vegas, like everyone does, and people were coming up wanting to take photos with me, and I really hadn't realized, I think, till that point, how much the museum and sharing all these items means to everybody, and I'm just blessed that so many people support it.
I love that. Good for you. Yeah, I think it's great that put yourself out there, go and stand at a venue where that so people can identify you, and yeah, shake the hand of the man behind this incredible museum. Good for you. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you, Steve, and good luck with the cataloguing and the photographing. I can only imagine what an undertaking that is, but that final end result of that website, that's going to be awesome for you. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, that's something that I can't wait till it happens, but it's a ways off yet, because there's a lot more photos to take, but every day we're making progress.
Bit by bit, you'll get there. Okay, Steve, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, same with you.
Thanks for watching, guys, and a big thank you to Steve for joining me today. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, and make sure you are subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, thanks a lot.